Welcome to Candela Obscura. Before we begin our story, I would like to acknowledge that this is happening because our wonderful community came together in November and raised over $11,000 for Cap for Kids as a charitable drive. Our $8,000 goal was that we would produce a multi-part Candela Obscura story, and we've done so, bringing together a cast that I am unbelievably proud to sit at a table with to tell a story that I think you're going to have a lot of fun with. Cap for Kids is an incredible charity that financially supports families whose children are suffering from and overcoming cancer. We think they do incredible work, and we are leaving links in our description below in all of our videos so that you can go check out what they are doing and also maybe give a little bit more. It's a new year. It's just after tax season. You might have something in your pocket for an incredible cause, and I don't think that there is any more worthy than this. Thank you so much, Cap for Kids, for being such incredible partners for our charitable stream last year, and thank you to the four of you for showing up and helping us fulfill the final charitable goal from that stream. Please enjoy Candela. I'll see you on the other side of the intro. You are undoubtedly familiar with stories of unlikely heroes rising to meet impossible odds. But this is not one of those stories. For the members of Candela Obscura, success, much like luck, can be found at the intersection of preparation and opportunity. This evening, at the intersection of Mulberry and Hayes, an opportunity will present itself. And success, maybe even life itself, will depend on how prepared the Circle of the Emerald Vale is. At the intersection of Mulberry and Hayes, there is a 26-story luxury apartment building known as the Wing Ship. The Wing Ship is the crowning jewel in Barnatius Filigree's real estate empire. A man with an ego as large as the building he resides at the very top of. Barnatius Filigree, while rich, is reclusive, and the Wing Ship is home to some of Newfair's wealthiest patrons, but only those who wish to get away from the public eye at the end of the day, who wish to have a home that is as private as its owner. One night a year that changes, and tonight is that night, for it is the eve of the new year, and the Wing Ship hosts its once-a-year gala, a New Year's Eve benefit for the many charitable needs of the city, brought to the public for the one time where the citizens of Newfair can walk the gorgeous gardens that sit at the base of the building, encircled on all sides by large apartments of 2 or 3 stories, gorgeously designed in each in their own unique fashion. And atop, a glass ballroom. A glass floor, a glass ceiling, unobstructed views from the dance floor of the beautiful night sky as the year turns over. This year is a particularly auspicious celebration as it marks 10 years since the end of the Great War. 10 years of peace following a time of trial, of pain, and of death unlike the world had ever seen before. The ball is lavish. Food decorates all of its many walls. Drinks flow like the rivers that lead into the lake that Newfair rests upon. The style is glitzy, with sequins and flashy, bedazzled skirts whipping around the dance floor, faster than the eye can see. And the party's full ablaze when we arrive at the story. Our partisans, the members of the Emerald Vale, already present. When Barnatius Filigree enters from the penthouse apartment that overlooks the ballroom itself, To announce his arrival, a giant curtain parts, allowing the entirety of the ballroom to see into his gorgeously decorated living room through this crescent half-moon window. You see the gorgeous chandelier that spins atop his coffee table. The light dancing through the crystalline windows that line the ballroom and the windows above. It is a dazzling display that stops the music and draws every eye of the building towards Barnatius Filigree as he steps through these double doors that enter into the ballroom itself. He is gorgeous this evening. In his early 50s, but looking like his early 30s. The extent of the medical abilities of the city available to him, Barnatius takes part in anything he can to achieve whatever amount of youth he might be able to cling to. This evening, his high black collar is met with a purple tie that extends into his pants and beyond. It is a beautiful ombre as the purple slowly fades to black, and there's no end to the tie. It seems to just disappear into the rest of the outfit, and you find it again as it ombres down into the back of his tails of his tuxedo jacket with a beautiful purple tip on each point. He throws his hands into the air, and he begins to descend the spiraling staircase from his penthouse apartment to the ballroom below. And people begin to move towards the stairs immediately. The clamor of the partisans of this party, just attempting to meet the man who everyone has a story about, but so few actually know. A man reclusive and rich. His hands in everything, but particularly in those things that fly. For the wingship is named after how the man made his mint to begin with. All of the flying machines used in the war. Probably just those on the New Fair side, but some question whether those used by their enemies maybe had his hands in them as well. They made Barnatius rich. But what makes him rich now is real estate, like the building we're in this evening. As he gets to the bottom of the stairs, he begs off the many people who are trying to clamor for his attention. One moment, please. Yes. No. I will have time for all of you this evening, but I'm dreadfully thirsty. I must get a drink. And he immediately exits to his right, to the bar, where we meet the first member of the Emerald Vale. Alicia, who is standing at the bar when Barnatius Filigree makes his way over?
Valentina Tereshkova St. Claus is standing at the bar. She is wearing a black lace dress. It has long sleeves that extend all the way to the floor. The dress's skirts is detached in the middle, but it also falls to the floor in a series of ruffles, black. There are these Victorian sort of clasps on the front. You can tell she sort of is not used to being in dresses very often, but tonight she definitely wanted to show off a little bit. So she's standing at the bar alone. She looks a little uncomfortable, but she sees Barnatius. She looks at him and says, "Oh, you've outdone yourself this time around. I'm amazed that you are able to put on this party every year to the scale that you do."
Valentina, yes?
Yes, that is I.
Yeah.
Speaking of darkness, it'd be interesting to know who you sold your soul to look this good for this long.
You are charming every year. I can't remember half these people's names, but how could I forget yours?
Thank you. For a while I was just gone and on the road, but I am here now, and Helene told me that this would be one for the ages, so I am here.
Have you seen Helene this evening? I'd love to speak with her father.
I haven't seen her yet. I'm beginning to think she was trying to pull a fast one on me, but I know she would not miss a party like this, so she's somewhere, somehow.
Oh, well, of course, I will find her. Any exotic locale in particular this year I should hear about?
I heard there's some place near Maitland that's supposed to be very warm, but unless it's something weird, I don't think I'm interested. But if you hear about something, make sure you tell me, because I am bored in one place.
I know. But you know I don't dabble in the weird. I dabble in the sturdy.
Why don't you dabble in the weird?
I like things predictable, Valentina. And the weird is anything but.
I should know this.
Champagne, please. He takes a flute. I will find you later. I hope you have a story for me.
All right, let me know if you see Helene. I have something to ask her.
Cheers. He begins to make his way through the party again, and you see him congratulating the mayor, shaking the hands of a variety of political people. You do see him stop and have a rather long conversation for a moment with Welton Swell. Welton is a person of interest to Candela and a person of interest to you all. He is the dean of Briarbank College, which is a local university that is also the headquarters, secretly, of Eons, a nouveau riche entity within the antiquity scene. They are a rival of Candela's, and while it has never been proven that Welton Swell is a member, it is firmly believed by all. And the chapter house that your lightkeeper, Ira Wells, usually works out of, the Apocrypha Esoterica, is a bookshop near Briarbank College that is used to keep an eye on this organization and hopefully keep them from the antiquities that you are trying to keep from the world.
What is our chapter house called again?
Apocrypha Esoterica. Barnatius has a terse, short conversation with him, waves him off, and while it seemed like there was some tension there, it does seem like Welton allows him to leave unmolested. At this moment, Barnatius looks across the room and finds Helene, speaking with her husband, her father, and mother, and makes his way over. Helene,
Barnatius.
your friend Valentina was looking for you.
Valentina's here.
Yeah, she said that you left her high and dry somehow, even though the party's barely begun.
I was going to say, she clearly has gotten out of practice coming to these. The first few hours are nothing, and the rest is when the party really starts.
Absolutely. I can't wait to hit the dance floor myself. I have a bit of a presentation first, though.
Oh,
A recent addition to my gallery.
are you allowed to divulge a little?
Of course not.
Ugh.
I mean, I am. It's
You never would,
Who
though.
could tell me no, but
I know.
I like the moment of surprise, personally.
Yes.
Don't worry, you won't have to wait long. Archibald, Margaret, William. He's speaking, of course, to Helene's father. If I could have your moment. Takes him by the arm and steps away. How is Helene looking this evening?
Oh, I should probably describe Helene, hey? Okay, so Helene is she's like a very like buxom, curvaceous woman. She's got like a deep cherry, almost plum-colored hair that on a party night like tonight, she definitely does not have in an updo. And I think she's probably wearing some sort of, she's old money. So she's not wearing anything too flagrant, but it's also very flagrant if you know what you're looking at. It's high quality silk that is in a very rich color, a dye that's probably very hard to find, like a rich purple, something to indicate her status, which is something that she often does at parties like this to showcase, I've been here all along, and you all are here one night. And so she's in a long floor-length gown, silk. It's very soft. It kind of like hugs her figure in not too revealing way. There's like buttons up at the top and some like ribbons and a few ruffles. And then she is wearing, I would say actually lacy opera gloves. All in like purples and blues.
Your father returns. He's a very flamboyant man.
What was that about?
Nothing, just questions about contracts for the bridge extension. Nothing that you should worry about. You look
Understood.
marvelous this evening.
Thank you, Father.
Following Barnatius, we see as he makes his way around towards the elevator, a large elevator at the front of the ballroom, fits 20 people. It is the crown jewel of this building, and it is the only way in and out of this ballroom that is easily accessible. Some of you know that there are other ways. But on a night like tonight, that's never a concern. But as he makes his way over to where certain members of the press who have been allowed a sort of entrance to this party with the expectation that they will not bother people too much, he makes his way over and says hello. Tell us about Aurelius, Clarus.
So Aurelius is kind of lounging, leaning against the bar, trying to look unaware, but is very calculated in her observation of the room and the people in it. She's trying to look as though she's not paying attention, but she very much is. She's wearing this deep green dress that is not of a luxurious material that would be more expensive, such as like a silk or something like that. It is a bit more practical, but it is tailored exceptionally well, so that it looks like she belongs somewhat. Somewhere. She spent some money to make sure that she was looking presentable for the evening, but it definitely does not match the extravagant dyes or sequins or glitz and glam of the actual residents of the wing ship. So it's a little more of a relaxed look, but she is done up very well. She knows how to attend these events and how to blend in for them as best as she can. And she's got her book out and is just scribbling some notes to herself.
The press. Hello, hello. Before we begin the evening, are there any quotes you desperately need from me for tomorrow's edition?
Well, I have heard rumors
Sorry, everyone. Yes, Aurelius?
a reveal happening this evening. Can you confirm or deny?
Confirm.
Confirm. And any tidbits for us?
Oh, well, I have a whole speech. It's a presentation, a reveal. If I reveal it now, I can't reveal it then.
Of course. It'll go out to everybody at the same time.
Of course. Well, if I give it to you all now, I'm just cheating out the rest of the guests.
Well, I wouldn't know what it means to cheat, but...
Really? Your editor does?
Well,
The
yes.
New Fair News isn't exactly complimentary of me.
On the contrary, I think it's rather fair.
Does anyone else have any questions? The scene fades away as Barnatius doesn't ignore you, but there is a moment of tension between him and Aurelius. On the other side of the ballroom, a man in a rather boring-looking suit, but with a sling holding up his right arm and a porcelain mask draped over the right side of his face, walks over and nudges on the arm. Seth. Seth?
Oh, yes, that is I.
This is Ira,
Ah.
your light keeper. Long disfigured from his work in the field. And burned with a necrotic scar across the right side of his face and down the right side of his body. He is a brilliant man and a wonderful leader, but he is deeply allergic to the magic of bleed. And the architects that you are so often seeking, well, he's absorbed so much of that energy that he can no longer sustain it anymore and can no longer be in the field. But you have all been working with him for about a year. He's a man you deeply trust. And he kind of smiles down at you with the side of his face that works. What are you doing here?
Oh, well, I just wanted to catch up with some old friends, you see, and... Man, I've always spoken about breaking through the glass ceiling, but I never thought we would see something on this scale.
Well,
Could you
don't break
imagine?
it. I don't think Candela can afford even that.
No. But do you think if I was a bird, or if I had one of those sky balloons, I
A
could...
Zeppelin, I believe they're called.
Ah, yes.
Yes.
Do you think if I had one of those, I could maybe understand a little bit more about Barnatius?
I don't think that Barnatius understands them either. I think that it just happened to be the thing he invested in that hit. The funny thing about the rich is that they were probably already rich before they got publicly rich.
Yes.
It's good to see you, though. I rarely see you out and about.
I'm happy to see you as
You're
well.
not working this evening, are you?
Oh, well. Anything's work if you spin it the right way.
Well, at least enjoy a drink before you get into anybody's business too deeply.
I will.
All right, I need a drink myself. This moment, Barnatius, finishing with the press, throws his hands in the air. Friends, friends! Yes, please! Before we get too into this evening.
I want to know what her character looks like.
Oh! That is a great point. He begins a speech as the camera zooms in on Fariha's character. What does Seth Primrose look like this evening?
In the spotlight. You see a person with bright violet hair, and they stand there in clothes much lighter than they usually wear, lighter than their usual garb of blacks and grays that help them blend into the shadows. And for once you see them donning this iridescent corset covering the entire rainbow, as well as this cream white shirt that spills over their shoulders, and these pants that pinch a little bit at the calves. Very interesting shapes. And you can see that they have these eye bags that weigh on them not from age, but from perhaps a lack of sleep, perhaps from a bit of stress. You're not too sure, but they seem to be going through it. It being life.
In general.
Yes.
As Barnatius begins his speech, we find our 4 party members at various points within the hall. On the north side, closest to the large elevator, we have Aurelius with the press corps. Nearby them, along the wall, we have Seth and Ira, closer to the east side. Down south, closest to the stairs to Ira's, or to Barnatius's penthouse, we find Helene and her family. And at the bar, on the opposite side of the south side of the building, Valentina. As Barnatius steps onto a small stage that has been erected at the west side of this glass dance floor. It is renowned because of the gorgeous gardens 26 stories below and the way the building is built around them. While you are dancing, whether you are looking up or down, all you can see is nature. Whether it is these gorgeous flower gardens that are maintained year-round despite the fact that so few people can actually see them. Or when you look up and you see from this far west edge of New Fair, where the light pollution is at its least, a gorgeous sky of stars. And he steps up onto a podium. My friends, I would like to raise a glass once more to all of the rich people here opening their coin purses to the people of need of this city. What is a gala if we don't all walk away a little bit poorer? But sometimes, the things that make us poor are also the things that bring the most interest to our life. While many of you know I am quite good at making money at real estate, I'm quite good at losing money attempting to build a submersible vehicle. I figure I've conquered the sky, why not conquer the sea? I finally think I've done just that. And from the depths of the vast chasm, that dangerous, deep cavern below the ocean nearby, I have found something that might make all of that money I've sunk into this project worth it. We are all familiar with the stories of Old Fair, the ancient civilization where alchemy allowed magical life to exceed even that our technology today brings us. Where those old wizards and witches were able to accomplish things we, to this day, with our new electricity, still can't even imagine. And I found one of them. The bones of a long dead witch. Dangerous. Mysterious. And I found it because I spent a hell of a lot of money trying to get down there. And I'm so excited tonight to share with you all my latest discovery before it is moved somewhere safe and public for all to see. The casket of a long dead Empress of New Fair. Or at least that's what the people at college tell me. Everyone, if you could turn your attention to the elevator, for it is arriving any second now. And the whole party, stopped in this moment in reverie, turns to the large doors of this epic elevator. And you watch as this dial at the top begins to tick up. 14, 15, 16. And in the time it takes, this murmur begins. People begin to look back at Barnatius. Everyone's wondering, what could this reveal possibly be? What could be coming up the elevator? 20, 21, 22. For a moment, as it hits 23, the crowd begins to get electric in a different way. The hairs at the end of your arms stand on end. The feeling in the back of your skull as if a light was just turned on behind you and you can't quite see it. 24, 25, and the ding as the elevator hits the 26th floor and the doors begin to part. Inside, in black suits with black leather gloves, are 3 men holding a long casket. It looks ancient and worn. And in unison, they take a step forward. And all of the electricity in the room that you were in extinguishes for a moment. As lights begin to flicker back on, a beam of green energy shoots from the casket and connects itself with the nose cone on the tip of the propeller that sits atop the wingship. This moment is immediately recognizable to you all as the magic of bleed in its purest form, entering this bond between 2 places in space. One expected, a dangerous casket from the bottom of an ocean, new fair magic at its oldest, but one unexpected, the nose cone of an airplane, a new device. And as this connection finishes, these 2 beams of green light meet, an explosion erupts that rockets through the entirety of the crowd. The glass above the party shatters, and so does a section of the dance floor. Those at the back of the room facing the elevator immediately see 10 people plummet, disappearing from the room in its entirety, and the lights begin to flicker on and off and on and off around you. Chaos erupts immediately as the casket is blown back into the elevator and a fiery surge of electricity pops at the top of the elevator. You watch as a flame erupts on the ceiling of it, and the 3 men begin to fall immediately as the elevator drops in its place. It bounces, and you hear the clang as the elevator bounces, but the brakes snap, and you feel the elevator. You hear it sail to the ground below. In that moment, there is a second of calm where all you hear is screams, but nobody is yet moved when the chandelier above the dance floor, the flickering firelight, drops. It crashes into the people below, and the screams of pain and agony as people are just eviscerated by it. The glass begins to crack and shake beneath it, and suddenly the chandelier falls through the hole that was previously made. Those near the dance floor can see as the chandelier falls and connects with the gardens below, the fire of the chandelier lighting the gardens ablaze. There is a brief moment where those of you who are members of Candela Obscura snap from your calm as you realize it is time to get to work. Something terrible has happened, and there is an artifact that must be recovered in the name of Candela. I'm going to go through one by one. Aurelius, you have just watched as this explosive reaction has happened mere feet from you, and an artifact has blown the elevator away. A fire is beginning to grow above you to your right. in the space above this elevator where you heard this electric zap.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing?
Does Aurelius know enough about electric fires that they could be extinguished by water?
You could try to find water.
In terms of the room, did you say that I was at the back close to the elevator?
You're on the north, yes, the north side closest to the elevator.
Yes, okay. And the bar is the opposite of me on the south side.
There are many bars.
Okay. Is there one close by within
Yeah,
reach?
absolutely.
I'm going to move through the crowd to the bar.
Make a move roll for me.
Yep. Okay.
First roll.
Yay!
That's a 3.
That is a fail.
Mm-hmm.
You are jostled by the crowd as they rush towards the elevator to look down and see what has happened.
Mm-hmm.
And you are trying to push through them, but you find yourself unable to get to the bar in time. And as you finally do find your way out the other side of this crowd of journalists that you found yourself at the party with, you turn around and see that the blaze at the top of the elevator there has already started to grow.
Mm-hmm.
And it is beyond the ability of what the water behind a bar might be able to quench at this point.
Okay.
And the journalists that you see there are beginning to back away, unsure of where to go.
Do I know of somewhere nearby that is another exit?
Yes, there are 4 stairwells in the 4 corners of this ballroom that lead to emergency exits down the building.
Okay. I'm going to turn to the people that are around me and closest to me. There is an exit to... You're right, what?
Both, but the closest one would be to your right.
Away from the fire.
Yeah.
There's an exit to your right. Walk away slowly from the fire. Do not disturb the glass. Stay towards the edges of the room. And to that door right there is an exit to get out of this building. Everybody move now.
Roll a sway roll for me to see if you're heard over the din of the crowd.
Great. I'm gonna burn a drive for that.
Great.
Okie dokie. Candela.
Amazing. You are immediately heard over the crowd, and people around notice the sense of calm that you bring to the situation as you were yelling over them, and they turn and they, an exit. Okay. But because of your sense of calm, you feel that the immediate rush, the stampede that might have been generated in this moment, is alleviated as people attempt to grab each other. There are some people that were blown back. They were closest to this explosion of energy, and they are helping each other up, and they are pulling each other towards the elevator, towards this stairwell, rather. And in that moment of sway, and in that moment of calm that you brought to this situation and your expertise, they're headed out safely. Now, over to Seth. This moment is insane. You've had a crazy experience, and you turn to look at the last person you spoke to, a man who should be very helpful in this situation, Ira, your lightkeeper, who you find slumped against the wall, breathing rapidly in this moment.
Shit,
This is not what I meant when I said... Okay. Can you stand?
Maybe, yes. Sorry, it's the bleed. We have to, whatever that casket is, we have to get our hands on it.
Of course. Here, I'll help you up.
You help him up. You are near one of the emergency exits. You see people headed that way.
Is there anything else I see in the commotion?
You actually see you see Aurelius directing people just a little bit away from you across the dance floor a little bit.
I'm going to go over to Aurelius.
All right. So you pick up you pick up Ira. I should not have made those two names so close. You pick up Ira and you lead him over. Aurelius, as you are trying to direct people, calming them, trying to get them to go through this door, you hear behind you.
It's Ira. He needs help.
Oh, hello.
Hi.
I'm glad we're among friends. I'm going to help hold up Ira to make sure they're on their feet, and I'm going to say I have a bleed detector.
Okay.
I'm gonna mark off a gear to see if there is bleed coming from that is going to put them in immediate danger, or if the danger has passed because the bones are no longer present.
As you fire up you pull it out of a pocket, and in this moment you are
It
attempting
looks like a pen. You know what I mean? Like I can like keep
It's
it
a
with
bit
me.
bigger than that.
Yeah.
It's a chunky pen.
It's a chunky pen.
You are attempting to hide from the party. It almost seems not worth it because everyone is so focused on getting out of this ballroom as it is collapsing under their feet.
Yeah.
But as you pull it out, you notice that when you point it towards the elevator, you are getting that reading that means that there was bleed here, but the numbers are certainly lower than you would expect.
Okay.
But when you point it up at the other end of that tether, the nose cone at the tip of this propeller, you are getting the readings of bleed, just in that
Enough to be a
frequency
danger.
that you are saying something about the tip of that propeller is still dangerous.
There is still bleed coming from the propeller. We need to get Ira down the stairs, but we should take them the way that is on the opposite side of the building to the elevator. So let's get these people directed through this door, and we'll
All right.
take him to the one opposite on the
South
south side of the building. I'm very bad with directions.
No, that sounds like a plan. Yes, we need to get out of here before this place catches
We-
ablaze.
We have to get the casket.
Yes, but you can't.
I know.
You
but
have to leave that to
Just
us.
someplace safe. We start walking.
Do you know anyone else at this party that we might be able to find to assist you out of the building through the back way so that we can go and collect the bones for Candela?
I'm not sure. I saw the rest of your circle is all here tonight. I saw Helene, and
Incredible.
she had told me that she had invited Valentina. But if anything, I think the four of you should be together. I'm okay. I can walk. I just need to get to a staircase.
Okay,
Or
you're going to take the...
I don't know if I can. Is there another elevator?
You know who might know.
We're going to pause on your story there for a moment. We're going to cut over to Valentina.
Okay,
Valentina, you were the closest to the section of the dance floor that fell out.
great.
You are also the least aware of what is going on because you are far at the opposite side of this ballroom, and you saw this moment of green energy and you heard the explosion, but you are unable to see through the crowd to what is going on. All you hear are the screams as people are rushing by you.
Wow, this party gets crazy. I didn't know it got this crazy.
You can see on the stage Barnatius Filigree is attempting to coax people towards emergency exits. He is pointing towards, folks, I'm so. There are exits on each of the four corners. Please take them safely. Please take them safely. Very few people are paying attention to him at this point, outside of a few, mainly Welton Swell, the head of the Briarbank College, who seems to be attempting to. You see him like trying to catch his attention from the edge of the stage.
Okay,
What would you like to do in this moment?
but I can tell he's trying to get everyone out of the party, right?
He is trying to get everyone out of the party. Yes.
Okay, she's like, I guess it's over. But the first thing she's going to do is try to see if she can see where Helene is, because she's been trying to find Helene all night long. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
can I do like a survey or maybe?
Yeah, roll a survey for me.
Yay, first roll. I'll just do this. I'm going to use that. Ooh, a 6 and a 1. But I can
That
only...
is a success.
Ooh.
Oh wait, do you have a 0 in survey?
No.
You have a 2,
No,
so you
yeah.
get
So
to
you
take
can
your
take
higher.
the 6.
So that's a
Yeah.
6. You just catch a flash of red hair off to your left across the dance floor a bit.
Okay.
And you are like, I know that red.
She is.
I know that ginge.
Yes.
And
Because I don't know that the floor fell out, right? So she's just going to be like, I'm going to try to get out of here, so I'm going to try to find Helene first. So I'm going to see if I can move over there.
As you begin to move through the crowd towards her, you hear one woman's scream that seems particularly higher pitched than the rest, but also seems lower to the ground. And as you push past this one man, you see clinging to the edge of a missing area of this dance floor. There is a woman who is just barely grasping the edge of the floor.
Valentina's going to step forward and say, everyone don't move. Don't move. Stay right there.
Help me!
Stay right- Okay, right. She's going to try to grab her.
You see that the glass that is leading to this piece of the beam that the woman is holding onto is beginning to crack.
Oh my gosh. This is a very precarious situation. Stop wiggling. Just breathe slowly. I know this. It seems weird to tell you to do this, but try to calm down. If there's anyone here... Okay. If there's anyone here who wants to help, do. But if you're not going to help, back away.
Roll a sway roll for me.
pull a sway?
Yeah, roll a sway roll for me.
Oh boy. Okay. Oh boy, yeah. This is,
I believe in you.
sway is not something I'm good at. Yeah, not good at sway.
Do you roll a 1?
Yeah, one of those, yeah.
The people around you hear you, look at the hole and the glass cracking, and you watch as they all collectively take a very large step away from the situation and begin to move towards the emergency exit stairs.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So she's still hanging, dangling, and I'm just standing by myself.
You are
I was
left
like,
alone with a woman who's dangling by her fingertail. Her
Her fingertails?
Fingertails.
fingernails.
kind of
This is what
animal
happens
is
when your
this?
game master is dyslexic.
What is in survival gear exactly? What is in it?
You would have a rope,
would?
potentially a grappling hook. You are an explorer. That is your
Yes.
profession.
Yes,
I don't know how much of that you would have brought to a party.
I know, I
It
brought
depends.
nothing.
What do you think Valentina would have on her?
Okay, she's at a party. She brought nothing. She thought this was just a night out. She didn't bring anything. That's the other problem. I didn't know that Barnatius would think it would be interesting to dig up a casket from underground and bring it to the party. But anyway, here we are. I can't leave her like this.
May I? If the crowd clears and I can clearly see her,
You're on the other side of the ballroom.
just checking.
Yeah, you're in the middle of a very different situation.
Just
at the moment.
checking.
Okay,
Yeah.
but I see her hair.
You know that Helene is off to your left. Yes.
Okay, she's going to scream, Helena!
All right, Helene. Let's cut over to you. Your husband is. While he's good at making money, he's not the most useful man in the world, but he's very cute.
Yes. Bless him.
He is very scared, and you know the signs when your husband is very scared.
Yeah.
And he is looking around. What is happening? Hi, Helene.
She's
hi,
gonna-
dear. I believe that we should leave the party. It seems that there is a problem at the party.
Yes. She places her hands on both of his arms and looks at him and is like, Archibald, my darling, you know how we can get out of here?
Yes.
I need you to take my parents. I need to go get my friend who is calling for me, and I'm a bit afraid that she's not okay.
Yes.
And I will meet you all.
Yes.
Okay.
Should we go to the apartment then?
If you think that is safe, I think that might be a good place to stop.
Absolutely.
But
Perhaps.
I do think there is a fire, so we should be cognizant of that.
Yes. Well, your parents are somewhat older. He says, trying to be cookie.
No, I know.
Perhaps Barnatius's elevator. We can use that.
I think we should be using Barnatius's elevator.
You know that Barnatius does have a secondary elevator to his penthouse at the back, on the south side of the building, opposite the large elevator that runs the north side of the building.
Yes.
Yes. Barnatius. I must find Barnatius. Margaret, please come. Archibald, please come with me. My name's Archibald.
She squeezes his arm before he leaves, and then she's gonna look to her father while Archibald is out of earshot.
Okay.
And say, get them to our home.
He's cute.
I know.
He runs. You watch as your father walks over and grabs your husband by the scruff of his neck and starts leading him towards the spiraling staircase to Archibald's penthouse.
Yeah.
The crowd between you and Valentina has mostly thinned at this point.
Okay.
There are still some people around the wreckage. There are people, you pass people who are on the ground. They were concussed by the chandelier when it fell.
Yeah.
There are also a variety of people around this party who are sporting cuts of various sizes from the glass
Yeah.
when the ceiling above them shattered. The most pressing moment right now, of course, though, is not those cuts. It is the woman who is dangling from this building 26 stories in the air
Yeah.
with nothing below her but a raging fire that you can see is gathering strength with every passing moment.
Yeah. I'm gonna run up to Valentina and be like, what's going on?
And she's going to gesture to the woman dangling 26 feet before a pit of fire.
And I think
I was actually going to ask you what is below her, but I think somehow I found out. It just came to me.
that would be a fire.
How many floors? She's not going to survive if we let her drop.
Absolutely not. It's 26.
All right, we're going to have to help her out of here.
Valentina.
Yes, Helene.
Darling, how am I supposed to be the one to do this?
I was hoping you would know what was down there. But okay, now.
Helene puts both hands on each Valentina's arms and goes, I need you to take a breath. Okay.
I just not to, you invite me to the party. I didn't expect it to end like this, I suppose, but it's
Can
fine.
I be honest? Neither did I. We usually just party and spend money. That's
I'd
usually
much
what we
prefer
do.
that to the pits
Yes,
of hell.
myself as well.
This lady's like, I don't know if I can hold on much longer.
If you lay, generally, one time when I was at my family's cottage,
Which one? The one in Newtown?
the cold one, the one with winter.
It's
Yes.
How long is this
Sorry.
story?
You can lay on something that is fragile to disperse your weight to assist in helping people out of situations. It works with hypothermic water.
I have no idea what that's been. I'm going to try this right now. And Valentina's gonna literally, in her finery that she never wears, pull her fancy lace sleeves up, and she's going to look at Helene
Yes.
and lay down straight and reach out toward this screaming woman's hands. I hate to ask this question, but how much do you weigh?
Roll a control roll for me.
Oh,
It's under nerve.
You have one. Hey,
At
it's better
least.
than me.
yeah.
You can spend a drive to help her with this roll.
Let me do
Because
that.
you are there with her and
Yeah.
you are
have a
attempting to
drive.
pull. You can spend drives on this, and
Do you wanna
also
spend-
Yeah, I think because I have to
you
spend
can
one,
spend
so I'll
drive.
spend
Yeah.
one
this
drive,
is a
okay.
moment where because you are together,
Yeah.
if you want to
could
help pull her, you
yeah.
could.
Yeah, this can work.
You
Alright.
burn the drive. We'll see. What
Come on, baby.
4, so
Yeah.
a mixed success.
Yeah.
As you lie down, you feel it holds.
Don't breathe.
And she's like, I'd rather not say how much I weigh, but in this dress it's a lot more.
She can't take her clothes off. Helene, do you have any other good ideas?
Grab her, and we will pull you both back.
You will pull us both
Okay,
back.
maybe not.
What? You said you will pull us. Well, perhaps if you grab my feet, maybe if you brace your feet in those shoes, you can pull us both back. No, I mean all we need is a little bit. And can you swing your leg up if we pull back just a little
Can
bit?
I get a sense of how is that gonna hold if we try to pull the girl up, or is
It is currently holding the girl's weight and hers.
okay? So we
at the
can
moment.
hypothetically pull her up.
So if you were to grab and pull her up, it's a little bit risky because the edge of this is broken glass.
Yeah.
But there is a chance you'll be able to pull her up. Yes.
Okay, I think we should try that. Yeah.
All right. Why didn't I bring anything with me to this party?
And
wasn't
I can
thinking-
help on the pull up. I'm not strong, but I can like pull you while you pull her.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
So what do we need
Just
to roll
very,
for
very
that?
carefully, all right?
So you reach out and you grab her hand.
1.
And she has been holding on to this. There are these beam sections of the floor that are between these pieces of glass. She's been holding on to that. She lets go with her left hand and reaches out and grabs your arm.
Slowly, not so fast. Go very slow and breathe when you hand me your other hand. You might get hurt doing this, but I mean, that's much preferable to don't look down, okay?
She reaches out and she grabs your other hand slower, but still pretty quickly because she's
Look at
carrying
me.
all of her weight.
Look at me, don't look down. Look
Okay.
at me.
Okay, hi.
And then
Okay.
are you gonna start pulling and then I'll start pulling you?
Yes.
I'm going to need you to roll a move roll for me.
Oh, and I have a gilded dice in this.
Yeah, roll your gilded dice. All of the dice that we're rolling are either the official Candela dice or real bones that have been fashioned into dice by
Come on. Oh, a 6, a 3, and a 3.
So 6 is Candela,
Oh, you only got
so that is a critical success.
Yeah. But it's not your gilded die, so you
Yeah,
won't
I
be able
don't
to
wanna-
get a drive
I can-
back. I would take the critical success.
I'll take the
though.
critical, yeah, because I was like,
Yeah.
take
That's
the
a fail.
medium. It was a 3 is a fail. That's right.
Three's a
Yeah.
So I'll
Yeah.
just I'll forego taking more drive, and I will.
So you can
do the
get,
critical.
for those who might be watching this who are wondering about the mechanic, when you roll with a gilded, if you choose the gilded roll, even if it's lower, you get a drive back, but you can fail. But you didn't fail, you succeeded, and you watch. You
Snake my way
managed
back.
to not only pull this woman up, but escape scratching your own arms off. As you are able to pull this woman and just with a little bit of help from Helene, swing her body up and over onto the beam next to where the beam she was grabbing onto, but a little bit further down on top of the glass floor. And this woman looks at you and she's like, thank you. Everyone else ran away, but thank you so much.
I hope I had a good time at the party.
Please go to one of the emergency exits.
Where's that?
And then Helene points to both of the closest emergency exits.
Okay.
Says, you need to get to the ground floor and you need to get out before this fire spreads.
She's just clutching at this bit of blood that seems to be dribbling out of her left arm. I'll get down. Thank you. My name's Emily. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're very welcome. Exhausted.
At this point, Barnatius finds the two of you. Thank you so much for doing that. I'm unsure of what is happening, but
Can we have a talk,
Where's your
Barnatius?
father?
Really quickly. My father is getting my family to safety. What possessed you to bring this here?
what?
Barnatius.
What do you think, Barnatius?
It's a old set of bones. What was supposed to happen? It's going to live in a museum at the college until the end of time. What's
It's not.
Barnatius,
How am I supposed to know that, Helene?
You're very rich, Barnatius.
You don't like the dark, you told me yourself. We're here to tell you there are things in the dark that bite. I need you to repeat 3 words back to me to remember all the time. 3 words. Put it back.
Put it back. Well, we can't put it back at the moment. We have to
I
get out of
understand.
here.
We do have to get out of
All
here.
right.
My father is going to use your elevator.
I was going to suggest the same thing.
Yes.
Yes.
We are going to meet you at the elevator. I just need to ensure that I have everyone that I need.
Okay, but make it quick. This floor is
I will make it quick.
questionable.
Don't you worry.
Good.
And then I'm going to turn to Valentina and say, are the others here?
I think so.
I invited them both.
I think I may have seen Seth's hair. I'm good at recognizing hair. I think I saw her.
Can I look for them?
Yeah, make a
Survey?
survey.
Okay. I just get 1 die for that. That's a 2.
You're a little bit too distracted by, as you look around, you realize there are a lot of people who are not able to move right now.
Okay.
And as the spidering cracks of the glass around you are expanding, the number of people who are clutching at their legs as they're bleeding from whatever might have fallen upon them
Yep.
is you're not able to make your eyes through the crowd as people are still filtering out. This is a rather filled room at the moment.
Yeah.
And you cannot see quite to the other side of the ballroom at the moment.
I think we need to get to the elevator.
Yeah, at this point.
Because
I
I don't know that the others are here.
Oh, you don't know?
No, I don't. I invited them, but I
Okay.
haven't seen them. So
I
don't
think Aurelius would definitely be here because society,
yes,
papers.
yeah,
right?
that's part of her job. Can I like focus and look at the thing on the airplane?
the propeller.
Not from, you would have to get to the other side of the. You're
Yeah,
at like
okay.
you
Yeah,
can see the
yeah.
back of the propeller right
It's
now,
not a good
but
angle
it
for me,
faces
okay.
north. So
Okay,
right
okay.
now you wouldn't be able to see.
Yeah,
it.
and I'm not
You're
gonna
gonna have
play
to
with that
cross
right now.
and like get around the hole in the dance floor to the other side in order to look up and see the tip of it.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
GM question. Did we all notice the casket electricity propeller?
It was
Yes.
because
We all
all
see
of the
it.
lights went out, and
Okay.
this moment of arcane energy sparked in the darkness. So
Okay.
you all saw this tethering moment that happened between the two things.
Is there anything else here that wasn't here before that I might be able to see?
Ooh, make a survey roll for me.
Helene, you have that.
That's a 6.
Ooh. You have that look on your face you get sometimes where you think you are seeing something.
I'm looking.
No.
Okay.
What?
Weirdly.
There's nothing here.
There's nothing here.
And there's
But
no.
you've been
I
in this
assume there's
ballroom
probably usually 1 or
before.
2.
And you have seen the echoes of the dead in this building before. There are many wealthy people who have died in this building.
Yeah.
And in this moment, as you look around in the aftermath of this arcane explosion, there is nothing. And that in and
Is
of itself is noticeable.
I'm looking for nothing because there's nothing here.
You sense nothing in a
Nothing.
building where
Nothing.
many people have died before.
And we've done enough together to know that that never happens.
Never happened.
I know.
You've also seen at previous balls in this room
Yeah.
the occasional ghost. It's a fun night to be a ghost and people watch, and there
Yeah.
is nothing.
Nothing. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like a shiver probably runs down Helene's spine, kind of like, oh, first of all, is this what people usually experience? And also, like, what the fuck happened?
Because if you think about it, if even the ghosts don't want to be here, there is something wrong.
Or is something pushing the ghosts out?
Something is pushing the ghosts out.
Well, I don't know.
Have you ever seen this before?
Literally, like, never.
We have to get out of here.
We absolutely do.
Would you like be heading towards the other
Yeah.
side?
I think
Yeah.
we should head towards the elevator because I don't know for sure that our friends are here.
Maybe
I don't
they're
know if
outside.
you want to look for them.
At this point,
Maybe they're
because the
outside.
center of the room is the movement in the center of the room is all in the direction of
Yeah.
the way you want to go. People are trying to get to the corners to get to these staircases that
We're
are
heading
headed
to
down.
the elevator though.
Well, you have to in order.
Yeah, you have to get to get.
You're
there.
in the middle right now, and you're
Yeah,
trying to
yeah,
get to the north side of this. So you are going around. As you are going, you are somewhat distracted by the people on the ground around you, seeing if there's anyone that you can help. And one person in particular catches your notice as you see Ira Wells has collapsed. You notice immediately the porcelain face mask as he is leaning against the table, just breathing deeply and heavily.
I'm gonna run over.
Oh, Helene.
Ira,
Ira.
Sorry, I was trying to get to the stairs, and
you don't need the stairs. I have another way out.
you do.
It's a
Of course
private
I do.
elevator.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Aurelius and Seth are here. They're over looking at the elevator. There was a casket.
Oh, we know.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes. The bleed was a bit much for me.
I can tell.
I think I'm okay. I just need to.
We need to get you out of here.
I need to get out of the building. Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna look over to where the elevator is.
To the one in this room.
Yeah, the one where Seth and
Now that
Aurelius
you've made
are.
it through a little bit, you can easily see Seth's hair.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And now that I'm at the north side of the building,
Yeah.
can I investigate?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So is that a focus roll? Because
Yeah.
I'm kind of inspecting it.
Go for it.
Should I burn a drive for this?
I don't know. It depends. Is that really dangerous? It's not like.
It's
But is
not
it
about whether
important
it
to
is it
know?
important. I think it might
It's
be valuable
important. All right.
information for us to have. So I'm gonna burn a drive.
You have a lot.
Yeah, I've got a lot in
Yeah.
intuition. So
Go for it.
You'll get
The
it back.
worst is when we get to the end of the session and we have all of these things we didn't
Yeah.
use.
Gotta use
A
the
2 and a
potions.
3.
Yeah, absolutely. You look up at it, and all you see is a. You've never quite noticed that it was a little translucent, but it is just a large red, and it looks like. You've always thought that it was just a painted tip of metal, but it looks a little bit like a stone, like a full, almost translucent stone in a ruby red.
Okay. I'm going to call Seth Aurelius like a cross.
Would we hear that?
We're sitting with Ira at this point, right? We're still with him
Yeah.
at the other. Okay.
I cut over to you guys. What are you in the middle of?
Probably directing the people down the stairs, like trying to keep people calm enough that no one further injures themselves, but moving.
You see Seth a little bit hunched over and almost dry heaving because they've seen dead bodies before, but never this fresh. They've never seen it happen. And so they're kind of reeling a little bit, but they're facing the elevator and they swivel over as they hear their name called.
You hear your name called, and you look over and you see Ira, who you had thought was going to be able to make it on his own, wasn't quite capable, and has fallen next to the rest of your circle. And as your eyes meet, for the first time in this party, the circle of the Emerald Vale is complete. You are still about 40 feet away from each other.
I think I'm gonna motion.
She just
Yeah.
gestures toward
I
Ira.
fully abandon directing people, and I
We run on over.
Hall. If you're kind of like having a moment, I'm gonna like half drag you, moving like very expediently.
Once you get here, Helene very lowly, like not very loudly, is going to say, Barnatius has an elevator. We need to get to it immediately.
Of course he does.
Of course he does.
Yes. Would you like me to lead the way? Can someone help? Ira.
Ira.
Yes.
He's literally
Yes.
suffering from all the bleed.
Yes, I think
We'll
between the
probably
two of
not-
us.
He needs
We'll
an
probably move
assist.
together.
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yes.
And then I think Helene leads the way to the elevator.
Yeah, as you begin to make your way back through the party, you are at this point stepping over. Some people are still moaning and very much in pain. Some people have clearly passed. And as you are making your way back to the south side of the building towards this spiraling staircase that leads up to Barnatius's penthouse, you realize that you are beginning to see the appearance of a phenomenon that you are somewhat familiar with, which is new ghosts, which have a little. All ghosts have a little bit of a color to them, a sort of translucent wisp, but it is always a little bit brighter and a little bit lighter shade when they're new. And while you are not able to see any old ghosts, anything you might expect from this room and from this building, in this moment, the air around you is starting to fill up again with something new. But you would push past, ignoring at times the moans of the people around you, knowing that there is a very desperate situation in this building right now. And while there are many people whose lives potentially could be spared, there is a dangerous artifact several stories below you that must be recovered, or many more lives might be in danger.
Yeah.
This is the difficulty of Candela Obscura. At times, it isn't about the individual, it is about the group. As you reach the spiraling staircase, you are surprised not to see your father or Barnatius. There is no one you know there at the base waiting for you. And as you climb up, there are people from the crowds that turn to you. Hey, is there a way out up there? As these crowds are trying to push through these doors to these emergency staircases, and the bottleneck is causing there to be these four corners of people. In that moment, a piece of glass breaks, and the screams of several people falling into the inferno below is heard. Is there a way up there?
I think Helene says, I do not think so. Barnatius asked us to grab something. We're trying to take refuge. I'm sorry.
And make a sway roll for me.
Yep. I'm pretty good at that. 5.
Okay. The guy who's talking to you is like, and starts pushing on the crowd in front of him. As you are beginning to ascend up this spiraling staircase, you do notice that there are 2 or 3 men who have begun to follow you up the stairs. Not loudly, but trying not to draw attention from the crowd that's trying to make its way to the stairs. But there are a couple of people who seem to have ignored that and are in the hopes that you're lying, are following you up.
Yep.
As you get to the top of the stairs, much like the rest of this top floor, beautifully built out of glass, the windows into Barnatius's apartment, which are usually closed. He usually keeps it to himself, but when he wants to be extravagant, he allows all of that light in. They're open now. They were open for his grand entrances. As you look through the window towards that elevator, you see your husband and your father and your mother, Barnatius, Welton Swell, and a few others in the elevator as the doors close.
Fuckers.
And the dial above the elevator begins to descend. Now, you're fairly certain that Barnatius saw you. You're definitely certain your husband didn't, as you saw his back. But you're not quite sure about your father.
Oh, I'll kill him. Is there, what is the time that it takes for it to come down and back up?
You're not sure at the moment. This isn't a modern elevator. It is much slower. At the time. Electricity is relatively new to the society.
Yeah.
But as you open the door and you push into the apartment, you see truly one of the most lavish spaces you can imagine. Everything is designer. The couches are oddly shaped and covered in cushions with designs from every era you can imagine. Every part of the world Valentina's ever been to is represented in a piece of art somewhere in this beautiful mixture of a study and a library and an entertaining space.
Barnatius is a simple man.
So simple, yes. As you look at the elevator, you watch as it ticks down, and it is moving quickly enough that you're fairly certain that it is worthwhile to wait here. In addition to that, you're not quite sure that you could get Ira down 26 stories.
Right. No. I think while we wait then, I would like to find Barnatius's desk and look through his papers.
As you're about to head that way, you hear the door close behind you as 3 men have entered this room. There's an elevator, eh? Can we close these windows? If everyone sees, they're going to be up our ass.
Well, is there anyone outside to look in?
It's a giant window. Yeah, there's 100 people out there desperate for an escape. If we get in there before everybody knows about it, we'll be okay.
Can they see, asking the GM, are they close enough that is a possibility?
You're not 100% sure, but you can see them. So if you can see them, they can see you.
Do I recognize any of them?
The party, these 3 men? Actually, you know what? Roll a survey for me.
I think it might be good to know if I know them as well.
Or, sorry, roll a focus for me.
A focus, all right. So, no killed it then. 3.
No.
Can I do the same? I
Yeah, go for
live
it.
here.
'Cause you live here.
So 3. Damn it.
Neither of you recognize any of these three men. They are finely dressed, but they have the musculature of working men in a way that is kind of surprising here. They are very physically fit. And to the two of them seem to be in their late 30s, and there is one who's about mid-20s, is standing in the back and is just kind of like with them, but quietly keeping to himself.
Gentlemen, what do you think is
Amazing.
going to draw more attention? Hastily shoving curtains together in a
Precisely.
flurry of motions, or us waiting here quietly, not moving and not drawing attention to ourselves while this elevator makes its way back up to us?
Precisely what I
Just
was going to say.
Stay out of line of sight.
Or perhaps guard the door.
All right, make a sway roll for me.
Great.
I like that argument.
So do I. We'll see if the dice like it. That's 2 2s. Well, you know. Yeah, I guess you can't,
Could I help in any way?
Yeah, you could
Did
burn a
anything-
drive to add a dice.
I was gonna
I
say,
would love to do that.
Great.
I was gonna ask if you have to announce like drives before you make the roll, because I don't think.
I'm going to say that you can absolutely add a drive to add a dice. Burn it, so erase a drive from yours, and then
Thank you so
Baldur's
much.
Gate
6.
rules.
Yes.
You're the
Listen,
best.
How do you feel about that now?
listen.
How do you
These
feel about that
curtains are
ruling?
yellow against that wall of blue.
all right.
going
No,
to see
that makes sense. Okay. All right. We'll just act casual, I guess.
Stand by the door.
Those of you watching the elevator dial
Yes.
see that it hits G.
Okay.
It hits ground.
Okay.
And it keeps going.
What?
It ticks and it ticks and it ticks into 3 empty spaces on the dial.
Yeah.
Where are they going, Eileen?
That is not an answer I have an answer
I
to.
knew it.
But something I would like to find an answer to.
What is it?
I've always thought that it is simply stupid for a man of this many secrets to live in a glass box
Well,
in a
yes.
world where blimps exist. Yes.
I don't know why you're asking me.
We don't even know who you are, first
I don't
of
know
all.
who you are. I just want to get out of the
I'm going to
party.
look to see if I
Okay.
know who he is. Let's see if I know him.
Rolled a 6.
You feel like you have met this man, but it seems impossible because it was on a mission for Candela years ago in another country, completely unrelated.
Oh.
And you believe that this man might be a agent for another organization
Can I
that
roll?
was once a rival of yours. And while you succeeded in that mission, and he doesn't seem to recognize you, you think that this man either is or was a member of the Red Hand.
Would a sense roll figure that out?
I mean, she knows.
No, I mean, but like for Helene.
No, you already failed your roll.
No, a different. I mean, a different roll, like a vibe check, like a sense roll.
A vibe check.
You already failed a roll
I'll
directed
allow
at
it.
this man.
I'll allow it.
I will not allow
That's
it.
what I mean.
You don't allow anything. I'm the
Sorry,
GM.
I DM, so
Yeah.
I'm used to saying I'll allow it.
That's the DM.
You will allow it, and I will
won't
not
allow it.
argue. Is what I mean.
You're out of player,
It's
but I
been a
I'll
long
allow
day.
it.
It's been a long day.
I'll allow you to do your job. Don't worry about it.
It's been a little crazy.
Please continue.
Yeah.
The elevator has returned.
Oh.
Not fully, but it is beginning
It's
to.
heading back
It is
up.
back on the dial on numbers that you know to
I
actually
want
exist.
to know what's down there.
Oh,
I
I
wanna get out of
want
this
to know
building.
what's down there.
I would like to very quickly check his desk.
Great.
And I would also like to assist in this. I do have a well-researched, it is my journalist specialty that I took. I can spend an intuition to ask the GM a specific question about a place, group, or concept you may have researched before the assignment.
Great.
I feel like because of the history, I would have researched anything I could find out about his apartments.
You've been in this room before.
Yeah. So, yes. So anything that I can... anything that we can ascertain from his desk, and if there may be like a private false
drawer or
bottom
something.
or vault or anything such as that.
I I have a perk I would like to add on to
Yes.
her role, because I have this thing called Saw This Coming, and 3 times per assignment, you may add a die to a circle member's roll without spending drive by saying how you prepared for this kind of situation together.
Great.
And so you see Seth pull out this little notebook with all these sigils and all these little keywords that they had found through their research, and we're gonna see if any of these symbols and any of these names match on any of the documents we're able to find.
You do know that there is a place in his desk that is a secret place that he has documents that he sometimes pulls them out of. You do not want the rest of the people in your circle to know what that place is or where it is.
I understand. I would like to still attempt to look for another, like, anything else that, like, might be of use, especially if we can search the desk for any information on the bones and the propeller specifically.
I will, so you're going to roll first by yourself. I would like for you to roll a sway roll.
Survey? Oh.
A sway roll. Yes.
Okay.
You are going to attempt to deceive away from the place in this desk that you know exists.
Okay. That's a 3.
In doing so, you trip this mechanism on the side of his desk. You are trying desperately to appear like you are looking for something, and in doing so, you unlock, and one of the drawers on the front, the second part, the bottom half of it, splits down and pops out.
Ooh.
And
Do you hear that?
Seth sees this happen.
Oh. What do I see on it?
No, it's like a drawer that has popped out just a
Yeah.
little bit. So if you want to see, you'd have to open it.
I would love to open it.
Right. Inside, there is a stack of documents, a variety of loose leaf paper almost.
Take them.
Great, let's take those and get out of here.
All right.
All right.
Ding!
Elevator's here.
The elevator doors open. As you get in, you realize there is just enough room for the 8 of you.
It is. Yep.
Ira has been watching you guys this whole time, but he's been very quiet, sitting on the couch, just sort of deeply trying to catch his breath. He seems okay. It just seems like he can't quite get a full breath in.
I think we're going to hit the ground floor button.
The empty
As you
dot.
get into the elevator, the first thing you look over is to see where's the button.
And there aren't.
Huh?
Where's the button for that lower floor?
There's no.
Oh, you don't see anything. You see the numbers 26 through 2, and then you see G.
Where are those 3 dots?
I don't care about that. Get in here, boy. And he grabs the young guy, gets him in the elevator.
We bring Ira in.
Yeah.
We are getting out of here.
Can I
Yeah.
interpret the body language of the young boy, the younger one, the quiet one?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, okay. Like, I kind of want to just get a sense of, like, why is he so quiet? Like, why are they being so mean to him?
Sure.
4.
You start to like get a little. You get a little nosy about it.
Yeah.
And he doesn't look abused or anything. It really just seems like this guy's being a little pushy towards him, because he's moving a little too slowly. And as you do that, the guy catches on that you're kind of getting in his business. Hey, don't worry about us.
Have some class then.
Yeah, class and I'm not worried about that. The building's about to come down. Get in the elevator.
I'm already in it.
All right. He says that to the last two stragglers as you guys are
As
pulling papers from the desk.
Yeah.
As G is pressed, Seth is going to look at the panel and try to inspect and see
Yeah, I
what they
think.
might be able
Great,
to
yeah.
discern.
Yeah, absolutely. Roll a survey roll for me.
Of course. Let's
Or actually, roll a focus roll for me.
focus.
It's probably the same for you. But.
Should one of us,
Yeah.
like, I was gonna say, should one of us help with this?
Can we decide after?
Yeah,
or is
let's
it
decide after.
Ooh, didn't need it. Didn't
Never
need it.
mind.
You find a hole that is just large enough that it looks like it is part of the design, but is clearly there is there's a hole that looks just large enough that you could insert something into.
Is
So
it
we
like one of
should
those
wait.
cell phone pin
We
things?
should wait
It's
until
bigger
they
than
get
that.
out.
Yeah.
Yes.
So-
Let's go to
And
the
then
ground
pull a
floor.
hairpin out.
Let's go to the ground floor,
Yep.
and then
Let
we're
them out.
coming back for this.
Yes.
We
Okay.
have to.
Yeah.
No, I agree. So I feel like we head to the ground floor then.
You press the ground floor button, and as the doors close, the last thing you see is the inferno on the other side of the building that is raging. You see glass falling, you hear screams, and as these doors press together, in a moment of silence, for the first time since that initial arcanic explosion happened, you take a breath. You start to pass through the floors, and 3 floors down, you feel Ira take a deep breath and exhale. And while his skin tone has always been a little bit odd ever since his incident, a little bit of color comes back to his left cheek, where he is unblemished. And as you're starting to descend, all of a sudden the elevator stops.
Good, dope, sick.
It feels like you look up and you're on the 3rd floor.
3rd floor?
The doors open halfway and you see the floor is halfway through the elevator at the moment. And below you, you see flames licking up into the elevator
Oh.
as the room that this elevator opens up into has somewhat collapsed in on itself.
All right, we need to get out there, folks.
Now, the 3rd floor above
Seems fine.
Yeah.
seems mostly fine. It's hot,
Okay.
but there's no wreckage above you. But below you, coming in through this little gap, probably a foot of space above the ground of this elevator, you see little flames just licking their way into the elevator. As the guy turns to you and says, "Get out of the way, let us get the door." And so these 2 large men come over to the door, and they start pulling with all of their might. It starts to budge a little bit. What would you like to do?
Can we fit through the crack?
Probably not yet. But as they're pulling, it's slowly opening.
And
Okay.
the 3rd floor is the one above us that's unharmed?
It seems like based on like the dial that you're like closer to the 3rd floor than the 2nd, so it makes sense that that would be the
Yeah,
3rd
yeah,
floor
yeah.
and that'd be the 2nd.
So, I'm curious, like, I wonder, and I'm gonna get a vibe check, what if we press the 3rd floor button to get it to move up instead?
Possibly. Let's try it out.
Right?
To go back. in the
Yeah.
direction it came
So,
from.
like, basically, we're halfway between the 2nd and the 3rd. The 2nd has collapsed in on itself, which is why we can't move down. But if I
Okay.
press the 3rd, could we functionally move back up, then trigger the doors opening?
Give it a try.
Or we get, or will
So
we get stuck?
You press the 3rd floor
Maybe.
button.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
elevator shifts up for a second, collapses back down,
Yeah.
and you hear
Alright.
the grinding of a piece of metal under it. And
Alright.
you are now
We're not doing
a
that
foot
again.
and a half
Yeah.
of 2nd floor with more flames
we
coming
can-
into your elevator
We
now.
gotta get out.
We have to get out of here.
We have to get out of here.
Yeah.
So most fire escapes are built with separation from the actual building itself.
Yeah.
If we can find our way to one of them, it would probably allow us access to the ground floor
You mean
unharmed.
get out of the car?
We need to get out of the elevator first.
Yes,
Yeah.
first, but afterwards.
It is starting to get very hot, and you
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
the sweat on these men as they are pulling with their might
Okay,
to
good.
get this
If they-
door open.
We're going to
We're
help.
But it's
encouraging
not
them.
moving anymore.
I absolutely cannot
It
help.
has moved a
I
little
am
bit, but is not moving anymore.
I'm
And
going
we
to
can't
take my
fit
foot
through?
and wedge it in as I pull
Between
my
the 2 of them, absolutely.
Yes.
Roll a move roll for me.
Uh-oh. Well,
Do you have a 0 in that?
yup. It's a 4.
It's a 4.
Ooh.
You take a body. The first damage of this as your
damn.
shoe, as that pant, that tight pant around your ankle, catches a fire as it is pressed against this door, and you feel that flame begin to burn the flesh around the lower part of your calf as you push it into the door and throw your shoulder behind you, and you wedge this door open. And as you finally are able to get your foot free, you brush that fire away, and you get up on the 3rd floor. You look down, the bottom of your pant has somewhat seared to your skin, and you have a rather bad burn mark. But the door is open enough for people to start coming through.
Okay.
Okay.
Good, good.
So
Okay.
I feel like we hop up onto the 3rd floor.
Ladies,
Yeah.
come on. They go. He grabs the boy, throws him up onto the 3rd floor, gets out. As the first man, who's been talking the majority of this time, pulls himself out, you watch as the cable snaps and this elevator shuts down just another like foot and a half. And there's now just about probably 4 feet of room for this man, the remaining man in this elevator, who is putting his hand out through, just screaming for help. It's hot! It's really hot!
We're gonna help him again. We're gonna do it again. We're gonna help him up.
Absolutely. You grab his arm, and you. I would like for you to roll a move roll for me.
Okay, I'm rolling a what? A
Move.
A move. So I have a specialty because I've done narrow escapes before. I've done some dangerous things. I get to add a 1d to my roll.
Amazing.
Absolutely. Roll 3, because you have 2 in move, right? So roll.
I have
you
2,
get
and
to
I have a
roll
gilded.
Candela.
Yeah.
So I can do
roll your gilded
gilded.
for me, and 2 normal dice. Yep. Roll the bones.
Yeah, that was.
They're all fails, so you may as well
Yes,
take the
I'm gonna have
gilded.
to push it or resistance it or something
Yeah,
because
you
I
could
do.
resistance it.
Yeah, I
You could use
resistance
the
and
resistance.
move. I do.
You could use resistance.
So I can just re-roll whichever one I want, right?
You
can
roll
use it-
you re-roll the gilded, and you re-roll one of the dice, but you don't re-roll the. Oh no! re-roll all 3.
Yeah,
Yeah, because it wasn't a
re-roll
Oh,
drive.
because
Okay.
it's a special thing.
Yeah, the bonus wasn't a drive, so re-roll all 3.
Yeah.
Come on,
Use
gotta
your
do better than that.
resistance.
We have to save this man.
Yeah.
Come on. What? I rolled the same thing as before.
Well, a 4 is a pass.
What'd you say?
A 4 is a
4.
pass.
Okay. Yeah, 1-4.
Oh, absolutely! You are pulling, and you just managed to get this guy through. You feel your right arm is
Okay.
pressed against this hot piece of metal, and you get this deep sear as you manage to use the leverage of that heat and that pain to pull him out, and you take a body.
Oh, okay. Got it.
You are now on the back side of the 3rd floor in a room that has a single door and seems to have storage equipment mostly. There's some cleaning supplies and not much else. This is clearly a room that is mostly used by housekeeping, but also is Barnatius' secret elevator. Helene, you've seen these on every floor because you've used this elevator to attend private dinners in Barnatius' space before.
Do I have any understanding of where the fire escape is in regards to this floor? And
It would be at the end of either end of the hallway that is just outside that door.
perfect. So we need to get to that door.
As
Well, we're gonna look to Helene because she lives in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna explain that there's a fire escape at the end of the hallway outside of this doorway. We should just get there and get Ira out of here.
Okay, that sounds great. He goes, the door's locked.
Okay. Are there?
Can you kick it?
Well, could we try to pick the lock? Does anybody have lock picking skills?
I've done
We have-
some in the past.
That would be
You
control.
should try to lock the door. Or unlock the door. Unlock the locked door.
Here's a pin. Yeah.
It is dark, so he's just jiggling the handle. The door's locked.
Step aside.
Mhm.
And so you see Zeph pull out this little bag of tools. I knew tonight was going to be a work night.
As you fumble in the dark, trying to find the lock to like get your lock picking tools in, you find the locking mechanism and you unlock the door.
Oh, bless.
Perfect.
Sweet.
Nice.
We didn't need it.
It, literally, we just
We
need to
looked
look
at the
for
lock. We're like, oh, I
unlock.
guess we just had
You're
to lock
inside.
it.
You are inside the room. It's just dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as you're like
okay.
fumbling around on it, you're like,
Oh.
Wow,
Yep.
you are incredible
I
at
did.
that.
Yeah.
Well, what
that
can I
was
say?
fast.
Yeah, it was good.
I've got
Alright.
a lot of practice.
That's why we keep them around.
As you enter out onto the hallway,
Yep.
you are in the middle of this space that overlooks this gorgeous garden. This one tree, 25 feet tall, stands in the middle of it with weeping willow leaves that dangle in every direction. And in every direction it is on fire.
Yeah.
The lobby in the distance on the other side of this building that this beautiful elevator usually opens up into is filled with people attempting to escape the building. You see people in flames. There are people who are trying to use their dinner jackets to douse the flames on others. There is occasionally a person who falls from the ballroom above as the floor gives way and the glass showers down on the people who have survived but are moaning broken on the ground beneath. And you are 30 feet in the air, looking down upon this with this window in front of you. From what you can tell, the fire has spread to the space underneath where you currently are, and you are going to have to find a way out of here.
Yeah. Which direction is the fire escape?
Either direction. It's there's one in the corner of each of
What's
the four corners of the
closest?
building. You're close to the middle, so right now you
Either
look in
direction.
either direction. You have a clear hallway in either direction.
I think we should head, the fire has spread to below us. I think either direction is fine. What floor is my house on?
I believe you live on the 6th floor.
Okay.
The 6th, 7th, and 8th.
Yes. It's 3 levels.
Yeah.
Can I crouch down and
Like, don't get it
run a little
twisted.
bit down the hall and just feel the floor, the carpet, and see if I can sense anything?
Yeah, sure. Roll a survey roll for me.
Yeah, okay.
We probably have some light from the fire.
Oh no, this room is filled. The hallway's filled with light. It was only that room that was dark. Yeah,
Candela.
Candela.
absolutely. You are inspecting
Hell
the.
yes. Oh, that's beautiful.
When you get close to like vents and whatnot, smoke is curling up into this room, and it smells terrible.
Oh,
You can
dear.
smell the inferno in front of you. But for the most part, the carpet here, this entire hallway is relatively safe so far.
Does
And
it
so
give
at
me
the
any
moment-
hints as to which direction might be better?
No,
No.
So
Gosh,
it's
that
not
looks
in the
like-
middle of the hallway here.
That looks like some religious imagery.
Which direction is closer to the main elevator?
The main elevator is directly across from you. Roll a survey roll for me.
Okay. 5.
You squint through and you can see the elevator did not make it all the way down. And it looks like on the 5th floor, about 2 floors above you, the elevator is sitting kind of half attached. And it is just kind of dangling there in that space, as if one of the brakes failed and it like shuddered down a little bit and fell a couple more floors.
Is the casket
It is in
in?
So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to look to the gentlemen that are with us.
They're gone. They're running towards the end of the hallway.
Perfect.
The door opened and they took off.
I was going to tell them to do that anyways.
yeah, go.
Wonderful. Then I'm going to turn to Ira and I'm going to say, do you think you can make it?
Yeah, I feel a bit better. Where should I go?
Away from
There are
that.
fire exits in either direction. The elevator's right there. So you're going to want to go the opposite direction of that.
Okay, I'll follow these guys. They seem,
Capable?
yeah.
It's
If
the
they
best idea.
Need a door broken down. I can't do it. Are you gonna go,
We are, I think. Who else is going to do it?
Candela? Thank you, ladies. I'll be just outside.
Yep.
I'm not sure how long tonight's gonna be, but thank you.
Please just get somewhere safe.
Yes.
Oh, wow. All right.
Well, when you get out with that, I'm gonna need to take it to Candela.
Of course.
Or we can take it to Candela on your behalf since you can't go near it.
I'll figure that out outside.
Right.
You watch as he starts to move a little bit less quickly than the 3 men towards one of the fire exits. And you look around a building in fire, thinking, how are you going to get to the other side 2 floors up?
How?
Fire exits go up as well.
Yeah.
And that's where we are going to end for now. See you soon.